Ryan, the Jeep guy here. Figured I'd give you a quick little update on the radiator that I put in the Jeep. If you followed the Instagram, you've seen it. I ain't posted any videos on it on YouTube yet, but I'm going to today. I've had it in for about a month now and figured I would just kind of give you a little rundown of how to wire up the fan, how that radiator does, all that good stuff, because whenever I got this radiator and the fan that came with it, I looked everywhere and could not find any way to wire it. So by trial and error and just kind of figuring it out, I figured it out. So I'm going to share with y'all today the way it's supposed to be wired up, and maybe if someone else is having the same problem, they can know what fixes it. So there's the radiator that I've got. It is a stock replacement YJ radiator. That means it mounts in the same exact locations, but it is a 4-row radiator. Most of your standard radiators are at least a 2-row. I had a 3-row radiator for like a 69 Mustang in here, and it just didn't have the capacity. This one's quite a bit bigger. Let me walk over here, I'll show you the old one. See, this is the size difference. And if you can see down in there, there's 1, 2, and back in there 3. So that's a 3-row. There's my old fan and fan shroud that I had to homemade. So this new fan came with one that you just run like some zip tie kind of connectors through the radiator, and it holds it on there. So there's no need for an actual shroud, and the air can still kind of move through it. So far with this radiator, I'm very happy with it. Like I said, I've had it about a month. I've taken it on a few drives up down the mountains, through town, all that. Now, it hasn't gotten warm here. About the warmest it's got is probably today. It got up to about 48 degrees. Took it through town, didn't get over 180 degrees. I took it up Balsam. That's the mountain here, just a highway run, and it went all the way up to the top of Balsam without overheating at all. Didn't get over 180 degrees. And normally, even in the wintertime, it would creep up to about 200 degrees. So that being said, it's already working way better. I can't wait until summertime when it actually gets hot to see how it does. Now let me show you the wire. I'm trying to remember the brand name of this radiator. Once again, an Amazon special. It came as a kit with the radiator, or no, I had to buy the radiator and I bought the fan separate. The fan is a Maxon cooling fan. 16-inch, 3000 CFM is what it advertises. It came with a thermostat switch and inline fuse, little circuit breaker, relay, all that good stuff. So forgive the redneck looking wiring here. I promise I will fix this. I just wanted it to kind of stay open, that way everybody can see where everything ran. So whenever you get it, you get this relay here. The dark blue wire goes to the positive side on your fan. I already had a ground worked for my fan. That's just tape. I had to do a butt connector there, so it's not twisting, pulled, taped together. And I've got it my ground run back to here, just on the body. It came with this ground as well, but whenever I hooked that ground up, the fan stayed on constantly. So I just kind of taped it up out of the way for the time being. Inline fuse, red wire goes directly to the battery. This white wire goes here to your circuit breaker. And then this is my ignition on power source. So whenever I turn the key switch on, it's got power to here, and then it kicks it over to here whenever it needs to. The thermostat switch, the way it works, it's just a single pole. If you got anywhere you can hook into it. The one thing I noticed on mine was that the sending unit was a little bit long, so I had to kind of file a little bit off the end of it. It still works fine. That way it would actually fit down in there and not interfere with the thermostat. Because if anybody has ever tried to do a thermostat on a mid-80s 302, they know it is a freaking nightmare to do, especially with that big distributor in the way. That bolt's easy to get to. There's one directly on the opposite side of that is a pain to get to. Like I said, red wire goes into the fuse, straight to the battery. The white wire goes to the circuit breaker. this wire off the circuit breaker is your ignition on, and the black wire coming out of that ground right there, which goes back into the relay, that just runs back to that. Whenever it gets up to, I believe this one kicks on at 195 and kicks off at 180. So once it gets up to 180 or 195 degrees, sorry, it will make contact. It will ground itself out, which then grounds out the relay and then sends power through all the wires to the fan. So it works perfect. It kicks on right at about 190 degrees, and I'm very pleased with it so far. Now, just to tell you, the capacity is the biggest difference on that radiator. The old one, whenever I drained all the antifreeze out of it and out of the engine block, for some reason I only had about a gallon. Why, I don't know, unless maybe some of the rows in that thing collapsed and it just wasn't holding enough water. I don't know. I filled that one up, filling the radiator up, the engine block up. It took about maybe 2.25 of a gallon. So already there's a whole lot more capacity there. And pulling hills, high RPM like this thing is because it's geared low, that really, really helps a lot. So hopefully this will solve all my issues. I'm gonna take it for its first little shakedown run tomorrow in the woods. And I'm trying to think of where I want to go. There's so many places to go around here, it seems like, anymore. But I'm gonna take the kids. They're tagging along with me. Wife needs a little bit of mommy time where she can go out and not have to, you know, buckle kids in the car seat, and maybe go out and get a bite of lunch and not have to deal with a kid's menu. So she's looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to spending time with just the kids, me and the kids. We can get in the Jeep and we can go. The Jeep is perfectly sound now. I fixed all the steering on it. It's cooling correctly. There's only one little problem left, and it's not a big deal. So my last video I put those flush mount pods in, and I want to turn these into my turn signal. Well, I go to hook it up, and apparently the 2-wire setup wouldn't work on this, so I had to order the little LED lights with a 3-wire setup. Ordered that, hooked it back up correctly, and guess what? These old YJs are so finicky, the LEDs ain't pulling enough amperage, so the flasher thinks the bulbs are out, so it won't flash at all. So now I've got to go to O'Reilly's, get some resistors, wire all that stuff in, and then hopefully it'll start working correctly again. So there you go, guys. Quick little update on what I've been doing. I know it's been about a month since I've uploaded anything. Just want to let y'all know I am still here. I'm still doing stuff with the Jeep. It's just everything I've done is such a long, drawn out process, and it takes forever to make a video on it. The turn signals, for example, I started on those right after I did the LED pods, which was a month ago. Just waiting on stuff to come in, getting time to do it, weather to do it. Today is actually sunny. Got off work just a little bit early, so of course I'm gonna try to make a quick video. So right now it sounds like the wife is having a time with the dogs, so I think I need to go round them up. Until next time, see y'all later.